Okay, so welcome back. How are you? So welcome back to more stats and probs. Are you ready for more? Let's go. Now let's go to item number 27. It says here, playing levels in tiny defense. So letter A, find the probability of playing a level in the South Ocean or in the glacier lands. Madali lang to. Alam mo yung formula? Kasi ito ba remember what did I tell you before? Kapag and, i-multiply mo yung numero. Kapag or, i-add mo yung probability. So, the probability of A is playing in the South Ocean. At yung probability of B, that is playing in the glacier lands. Tama? So, you're gonna have to add the two probabilities together. So, if you're playing a level in the South Ocean, that is ano yun? Ano yun? Diba remember there are 50 levels and they're 10 out of 50. So 10 over 50 or 1/5 plus 1/5 which signifies to 2/5. Diba? So that is the probability. And 2/5 times 20 is equivalent to 40%. So that is the solution that you will get here. So therefore this is the answer. Next, letter B. Find the probability of playing 2 games in the Waste Sands and 1 game in the Iron Fortress without playing the same level. Ayan. Ibig sabihin, di ba, remember, yun naman sa tiny defense, kapag binalaro mo yung level na yan, you can still opt to play the game again. Pero, I know naman, pero in this criteria, you cannot play the same level. Kung alin yung level na binalaro mo, that is already the game na itself. Hindi mo na siya ma-repeat. So, playing 2 games in the Waste Sands, di ba, remember the Waste Sands, there are, ano yun? Ganito siya. Di ba, there are 10 levels in the Waste Sands, di ba? So, 10 out of 50. Tama? Ganito yung solution sheet ko. So, my solution sheet is this. So, I start off with ano yun? Combine 10, 2, and combine 10, 1. And then from there, yun nga, I just multiply the probability. So, this what I did here. Ang ginawa ko, di ba remember yung probability of ano yun? Combine 10, 2. Kasi nga, di ba, you're going to play 2 games in the ano yun, in the Waste Sands. Tama? So, 10C2. Any level kung alin yung gusto mo. Like for example, you can play 2-1 and 2-5. Diba? And then sa Iron Fortress kahit ano. 10C1. Choose one level. Tama? And then you're gonna have to multiply that together. And then from there, yun nga. Then you're gonna have to divide it by 50, by 49, and by 48. Kasi nga diba remember, it's just like diba remember, there are 10 levels in the Waste Sands. So 10, and then after playing 10, you have 10 over 50. So 9 out of 50 na lang. 9 out of 49 na lang. Diba? Because you already played na 1 level in the Waste Sands, diba? So 9. And then you already have 8. Diba? Times 8. Diba? Times, ano yun? Times 10. Diba? In the Iron Fortress. So 10 times 10 times 9. Diba? So that should be your answer. Okay? And the probability should be 0.38265%. That is the solution. Next, letter C. It says here, playing a level in the green fields or a level that contains a cycler. Ayan. Di ba remember in that tiny defense game, you have to memorize what are the levels that consist of cyclers. And I know the cycler comes in levels 1-5 until 2-5. And they're already in the green fields. Kasi di ba remember the probability of A, the green fields level. And there are 10 levels in the green fields. Tama? And then a level that consists of a cycler, there are 1-5 until 2-5. And that's ano yun? 15, 20, 11. 11 out of 50. Pero, di ba remember yung 1-5 to 1-10, that's already the same as probability A, which is green fields. So, you don't need to, include that. So, therefore, we're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to reduce that. Remove the, the 6 over 50. Diba? So therefore, that's 1. So therefore, you're gonna have to compute that all together. And for the green fields, that's that's level 1-1 until 1-10. And then the cycler, that's 2-1 to 2-5 in the Waste Sands. So tama, that's 15 out of 50 or it's the same as 30%. Okay? Let's see if I'm right. Yan. Next. Letter D. Ang sabi ko dito, playing a level that is dedicated to bad bros and 3 levels containing blast tanks without repetition. Ayan. Di ba remember in this particular situation, you're going to play a level in tiny defense, pair with auto repetition. So, di ba remember, you're going to apply compound probability. So, if you're going to play a level that's dedicated to bad bros, there are 2. And that's 2-7 and 4-4. Tama? That's 1, di ba? And then, you're gonna have to play 3 levels containing blast tanks without repetition. Ano yung mga tatlong levels na may blast tank? And that is 5-3 to 5-10. So, therefore, the formula is 2 out of 50 times 8 over 49 times 7 out of 48 times 6 over 47. And what answer will you get? Ganito kasi yun. Diba, remember this is for the bad bros, diba? And then this is the one for HC3. Kasi nga this one, the order does not matter. And then from there, we divide. And we're supposed to get this answer of 0.002026%. That is the probability that you will get that if you're going to draw that in a draw lot. Okay? Next, letter E. Sa letter E naman, it says here, playing 3 levels in the South Ocean and 2 levels dedicated to Big Sisters when repetition can be played. Ayan, repetition, ibig sabihin paulit. So if you're gonna play 3 levels in the South Ocean, di ba remember, that's ano yun, that's 10 out of 50, di ba? And then you play another one, 10 out of 50 again. Because di ba remember, pwede siya i-repeat. And then 10 out of 50 again. So 10 over 50 times raised to the 3rd power. And 2 levels dedicated to the Big Sisters. So that's 3 out of 50 times 3 out of 50 squared. And this will be your solution. Ganito kasi yun. Yan, di ba? So that's 0.2 raised to the 3rd card 3. Kasi di ba remember where does the 0.2 comes from? The 0.2 comes from, ano yun? 10 out of 50, di ba? Is 10 out of 50 the same as, ano yun? 1/2? 1.2? 0.2, yes. And then, is 3 over 50 the same as 0.006? Yes, it does. So, therefore, it makes sense. Okay. Next, number 8. Let's go to the next problem. It says here, wordplay. Okay, here's my favorite game. Because now we can also apply probability in this particular situation. Letter A. In the word uncouth, what is the probability of choosing a vowel and another vowel? Ayan. Di ba remember, this is compound probability. So, di ba remember, you write the word uncouth, di ba? Ilan yung mga vowels na nakita mo dito? There are, ano yun? 3, di ba? U, O, U, and U. Tama? So, therefore, how many letters are there? Ilan yung mga letters doon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, therefore, that is, ano yun? 3 out of 7 times 2 out of 6. So, that is the answer. Ito yung sagot mo sa solution sheet mo. So, yan. 3 out of 7 because that's the vowels times 2 over 6. Dahil walang replacement, di ba? Sayang lang I forgot to put that condition, pero never mind. But I know naman in general, if you're having wordplay, if you're going to select a letter, of course in general, when you don't see any condition implied, we already know that there's no replacement. Unless lang talaga may sinabi ako, when the letter can be replaced and you can choose the same letter again. Okay? Next, letter B. In the word prodigious, when 5 letters are selected, find the probability of having at least 3 vowels. Ayan. That is compound probability involving combinations. Di ba? Remember dito sa prodigious, meron tayong 5 vowels. Di ba? O, I, O, and U. Tama? And ilan yung mga letters in the population? There's, P, R, D, G, S. 5. So, 10. So, find the probability when 5 letters are selected. Di ba? Remember, you're going to do 10C5 as the new denominator, di ba? And you're gonna get at least 3 vowels. So, let's find the probability of each. And di ba remember what I tell you whenever there's a question like that? Such that you have to find the probability of getting at least 3, 3 of something, at least. You're gonna have to do it one by one, getting the variable that you want. Okay? Like we start with 3, and then 4, and then 5. Ganito kasi yung solution sheet. Okay? So this one, this is This is combine of 5C3. The one that I got, 3 vowels. And then this one, the rest are consonants. And then this is ano yun. We multiply it by the product, divide by ano yun, K130. Where's that K130? Ayan, it's right here, di ba? Yes, yung combine 10C5. Such that you're going to choose 5, ano yun, 5 letters. So the one that I put in, ano yun, in red, that is the one when you get 3 vowels. Next, dito naman, when you get 4 vowels, 5C4, and then multiplied by 5C4, 5C1, di ba? Dahil sa vowels. And then they should match. Then you divide, di ba? And you're supposed to get this answer. And then the last one is combine 5C5 and 5C0. Take note that 5C0 is equivalent to 1. And 5C5 is just 1. So yun. And then 1 divided by 252 is equivalent to this. And then we sum up all the probabilities of getting each one individually. And we should get 42%. So yun yung sagot namin. Okay? Yan. Next, letter C. In the word veranda, find the probability of choosing an A or a D. Ayan. Di ba yung member sa veranda? You know, it's very easy, di ba? There are 7 letters. So, yung A, may dalawang A. So, 2, 7. Di ba? And then, yung letter D, isa. So, when you add this up, dahil or, 3/7. Madali lang yan. Next, number 4. Letter D. In the word earn. Earn as in U-R-N. Jar. Find the probability of making a real word out of all the letters. Ayan. Ano yung mga real words dito sa ano yun, sa salitang earn? Let's write it on paper. Okay. Ito yung criteria namin. Di ba remember sa salitang earn? U-R-N. Tama? So we need to make anagrams. And we know that if we were to apply permutation, that is 3 factorial. Pero, out of the 6 outcomes, we know that there's supposed to be 6 outcomes here. Tama? Kasi nga we can arrange U, R, and N in 6 possible ways. Tama? Dahil sa 3 factorial. Now, we are going to rearrange the words U, R, and N. So let's see which among these can make a real word. So U, this is the first letter, di ba? U. Okay? And then R. Sa first one, ang R nasa unahan, tapos yung pangalawa ng yung R dito. Next, R, R. Ang N ay nandito sa una. Yan. And then R, N, U. R, U, N. Di ba? And then yung N, N, U, R, R. Look among the 6. Alin dito yung totoong na word? Ito, run, as in takbo. So therefore, that is real word. That is the new real word. So therefore, that's 1 out of 6. Okay? Let's see if I'm right in my solution sheet. Yes, that is ano yun. That is ano yun, 1 out of 6. Dahil sabi dito, a new real word. Okay? Yun yung solution. Yeah, now, let's go to letter E. In the word stingray, find the probability that when 3 letters are selected and can be repeated, you'll have a word that starts with G. O yan, that's very easy. Di ba remember sa salitang stingray? Di ba remember ilan yung mga words doon? It's G. Di ba? It's 8, di ba? Sting plus ray. 5 plus 5 plus 3 equals 8. Tama? So therefore, 8 letters. Okay? And then, di ba remember you're gonna choose 3 letters, di ba? And then the first word, you'll have a word that starts with that starts with G. Diba? So, G. And then, diba remember you have a word that starts with G, diba? And then it says, the letters can be repeated. So, what is the probability when 3 letters are selected, you'll have a word that starts with G. And diba remember word, kahit anong word, diba? And that one, how many more letters you can choose? Such that letters are repeated in the word stingray. 8, di ba? So, 8 and 8. So, 1 times 8 times 8. Or 64 over 512. Di ba? Out of the 8 possible outcomes. And then our solution sheet is this. Yes, that's the solution. 8 cat 2 divided by 8 cat 3. So, yan, di ba? Ito yung solution sheet ko. Numerator and denominator. And then sa letter F, yun nga talaga yung pinakamahirap. It says here, based on your answer in letter E, find the probability of spelling a real word that ends with A when 4 letters are selected and can't be repeated. Ayan. Di ba remember in this one, you have 4 letters, di ba? 4 words are chosen. Pero hindi pwede mo siya i-repeat. Pero yung A at saka yung Y, they're already there in the the last 2 letter sections. Pero, you still need to look for 2 more words. So, pwede pa rin yung S and T, stay. Di ba? Or gray. Tama, di ba? And that will be 8 times 5 times 6 times 4. Di ba? Kasi ang solution namin ay ganito. 8, 7 times 6 times 5. That's in your denominator. Pero sa numerator, how many ways are there? Of course, you can have stay. That's 1. Ano pa? Gray. Diba? Ano pa? I think those are the only 2 words. Kasi nga diba remember, I do not know what are the other words that you can make aside from stay and gray. Or pwede naman yung tray. Yan, tray. Pwede. Tray. Diba remember, pwede ka mag-tray. And that's 3. 3 out of, 3 out of those outcomes. So let's see the solution sheet if this is true. So ito yung solution sheet ko. Wala akong solution sheet. Pero just I just made it 2. Permit 8 and 4. And that's the right answer. Pero I know naman there are lots of other words rather than that. If you can think of other words, please put it down. Pero one of them is stay. Dahil may S and T. Gray, as in gray. The color, like for example, this is color gray. Or tray, as in lalagyan. Like ito. Ito ang tray. So yun po talaga yung solution sheet, okay? I'm not so sure if this is really the right answer, okay? Sorry. Yan. It's 0.017. Okay? Now let's go to the next number. Letter number 9. It says here, ganito yung problema ko. Sa number 9, eating in restaurants. Wow, sarap! Parang piling ko gusto ko na kumain. Gutom na ako. So, eating in the restaurant, at saka ito yung mga possible choices. Jollibee, McDo, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Manhan, Chowking, Bonchon, and Pho Hua. Ayan! Di ba remember those are my favorite restaurants? At saka di ba remember you also see that in malls? Well, of course, kapag magtipid ka, so you can either eat a Jollibee or McDo. At saka pwede mo gamitin si PWD just like what I have. Kasi yun naman may ADHD ako, so kailangan namin mag-PWD. At saka kanina, nagpunta ko sa Manila City Hall para mag-verify ko yung yung PWD ko. Now, at least naman, I already have a real license para ibabagi ko yung special criteria ko. So, yun. Now, let's go to the story. So, now, let's go to the question. Letter A, eating at Bonchon or Jollibee. So, titingnan mo yung mga selection dito. May Jollibee, may McDo, sa KFC, may Manhan, may Chowking, Bonchon, o Pho Hua. O pwede naman, let's say for example, kung magpunta kayo sa PTEX. Alam mo yung PTEX na yun? Ang daming tao. So, if you will go to PTEX, ano yung mga restaurant na makita mo doon? You can see Jollibee, Chowking, Burger King, McDo. Basta lahat mo sa SM. Kahit sa SM, makita mo yan. So, eating at Bonchon or Jollibee, that is 2 out of 7. It's either get Jollibee or Bonchon. And diba remember, you add up the 2 probabilities together, so you get 2 over 7. Mabilis lang yun. Next, letter B. Eating at KFC for lunch and at Manhan for dinner if going to the same restaurant is allowed. Ayan, ibig sabihin, diba remember, kung magpunta ka sa restaurant, same restaurant, ibig sabihin, let's say for example, diba remember, may plano ka, may balak ka magpumunta ka sa mall. So let's say for example, you go to SM San Lazaro. Tapos sa lunch, gusto mo kong magkain sa Marugame o doon. Oo nga pala, kasi nga during that time, wala pa si Marugame. Ngayon, it's already a trend that you always see Marugame o doon. So if you are to see Marugame o doon, yun nga. So let's say, halimbawa, di ba yung meron pupunta ka sa Marugame Utol? Di ba? And then sa dinner, dahil na gusto mo yung pagkain, pwede ka magpunta ka doon ulit para kumain. So yan. Such that if going to the same restaurant is allowed, this is the problem. So therefore, di ba remember, if you go to KFC for lunch, ito yung nangyari. KFC, that is ano yun? 1 out of 7 times 1 out of 7, which is 1 over 49. And that is the answer. So if you go to your solution sheet, ito ba yung sagot? Yan, di ba? It's 2.04%. Ito yung solution sheet na ginawa ko. Yan. Next. So yan, di ba? 1/7 squared. Next, letter C. Letter C, what's the question? Eating at Pohua or a restaurant where fried chicken can be ordered. Ayan, alam mo ba yung mga restaurant dito kung saan may fried chicken? Eto yun. Di ba yung Jollibee meron silang ano yun, fried chicken? So, di ba remember yung probability A? Pohua. So, Pohua is a restaurant. Pero do they sponsor fried chicken? I think I know in their menu wala silang fried chicken. So, that is not a probability in our list. Okay? So, let's look at the other resto. Ang Jollibee meron silang fried chicken. Ang McDo meron silang fried chicken. Di ba remember yung sponsor ni Ate Mai? That's Mai Etata. Yung Amo Busquera, ni Babazala. Yung mga ganun, di ba? Kasama pa si Ate Vice Ganda. That's also, ano yun? That's also counted. Ang KFC sure na yan may fried chicken dyan. Chowking sure na yan may fried chicken dyan. Lalo na yung Bonchon. Ewan ko kaya yung Manhan kaya if they sponsor fried chicken. Parang I know naman yung Manhan wala eh. Alas lang talaga they have a kid menu. So I think it's 7 out of 7. Pero, ang ginawa ko sa solution sheet ay 6 out of 7. Dapat supposed to be 7 out of 7 eh. That is of course lang kung ano yun. Kung may fried chicken doon sa Manhan. Now if ever po nagpunta kayo sa Manhan, if you see fried chicken in their menu, please inform me para what you all this. I can verify this is true. Basta gusto ko malaman kung may fried chicken doon sa Manhan. Next, letter D. Eating at a restaurant where you can order sweet and sour fish and a restaurant where you can order french fries such that you can't eat at the same restaurant. Ayan. In this one, this time you're going to eat in two restaurants. Such that your first restaurant where you want to eat is this one, kung saan ka mag-order ng sweet and sour fish. At saka yung pangalawang restaurant, mag-order ka ng ano yun, ng french fries. At ang condition ay hindi pwede kakakain sa same restaurant. Ibig sabihin, kapag kinain ko na sa restaurant na yan, hindi pwede siya magpapalit. Okay? So let's list down the probability of eating in the restaurant where you can order sweet and sour fish. Alam niyo mo yung restaurants kung pwede ka magsain ng sweet and sour fish. Of course, I remember when I was a kid, kumain ako dito sa Manhan at meron silang sweet and sour fish na masarap, malinamnam, sarap. Lalo na sa at saka sa Chowking. Di ba remember meron silang ano yun, ng sweet and sour fish laureate. So, doon kayong dalawa. Of course, for the rest, wala sila. So, therefore, that's 2 out of 7. Now, if in case these restaurants are already selected, you only need one more. Pero, since that restaurant's already selected, hindi pwede mo siya repeat. Pero, it says here, eating at a restaurant where you can order french fries. Ano yung mga restaurants kung pwede ka mag-order ng french fries? Of course, sure niyan sa Jollibee at saka sa McDo, which was my favorite restaurant when I was a kid. Kumain ako ng mga fries. Ang sarap talaga yung mga fries nila dyan. So therefore, that's counted already as 1. Okay? Fries. And then, di ba remember yung Manhan? Wala. Of course, you can't get Manhan and Chowking. Wala na sila. KFC, meron sila. Bonchon, meron. Sa Pohua, wala. So therefore, that's 4 out of 6. And then you multiply, you're supposed to get 8 out of 42. Simplify to lowest terms, you're supposed to get 4 over 21. So yun yung sagot namin. Now let's check if this is true. Yan. So, that's supposed to be 3 out of 6. Kasi nga, maybe siguro, I thought kasi, Bonchon does not sponsor any french fries. But the correct answer is supposed to be 4 over 6. Kasi when I checked the menu recently, there's, may french fries sila sa, sa Bonchon. So that's why it's 4 over 6. So yan. And the probability should be 19.0476%. Next, letter E. Eating Jolly Spaghetti for breakfast, eating at the restaurant seen at Lucky Chinatown Mall for lunch, and ordering burgers for merienda, and eating wonton noodle soup for dinner. The same restaurants cannot be repeated. Ayan, this is a very tough question. Kasi nga diba remember, in this one, the order matters. So diba remember, ito yung plano ng routine mo. So ganito yun. Diba remember sa breakfast, kakain ka ng Jolly Spaghetti. Alin sa mga restaurant ito kung makita mo ng Jollibee Spaghetti? Of course, halatang-halata makita mo yan sa Jollibee. Diba remember sa Jollibee, meron silang Jollibee Spaghetti? So this is breakfast. Break. Okay? Tapos, may 6, may 5 pa, tapos may 4. Diba? Tapos, ano yung condition sa lunch? Sa lunch, you can eat at the restaurant, seen at Lucky Chinatown Mall for lunch. Ano yung mga restaurants na makita mo sa LC nung lunch? Alam mo ba yung Lucky Chinatown Mall? It's right nearby my place. You know, I live in Binondo and I'm just right near to the Lucky Chinatown Mall School. At doon talaga yung Chongse, kung saan malapit ang LC. Tsaka ayoko na talaga babalik sa Chongse dahil binubuli ako ni Ivan. Ang kagong gangster na yun. Pero Sir Erwin, shout out to you if you're listening to this po. Because this is my YouTube vlog. So yan. So now, going back to the lecture. Alin yung mga Jeweldies, yung mga restaurants dito na makikita mo sa LC o sa Lucky Chinatown Mall? Of course, hindi pwede na yung Jollibee kasi nga, di ba remember, ang sabi dito, the same restaurant cannot be repeated. So, hindi pwede na yung Jollibee. At saka, furthermore, wala ako nakita ng Jollibee sa ano yun? Sa LC. Di ako nakita ng Jollibee doon. So, therefore, ano ba yung meron? Okay? Of course, meron kayong McDo sa LC. Aya, kasi ano ba remember yung McDo? I remember last time, ang McDo ay nasa ano yun, sa food court. Pero na yun, wala na si McDo. Unless lang talaga you go to the ground floor. And then tatawid ka na ng kalsada. Tapos doon ka na sa McDo. I will show you one time I were to go to LC. Tapos, Kentucky, meron yan sa ano yun, sa LC. Ang Manhattan, meron sa ano yun, sa Chinatown Street Hall. Chowking, meron silang Chowking. Pero that's in the annex. Pero I don't think there's Chowking there. Okay? So, wala yung Chowking. Bonchon, meron silang Bonchon dyan. At Pho Hua. So, 5. Pero, ang sabi ko dito, such that the restaurant can be repeated. So, let's go to another restaurant. Now, for the third one is ordering burgers for merienda. Alin yung mga restaurants kung pwede ka mag-order ng burger? Of course, you can order burger at Jollibee, McDo, Kentucky, at saka Bonchon. So, 3, 4. Pero 3 dahil hindi pwede nakasama ang Jollibee. Kasi nga, diba, remember, sure niyan, gusto mo kakain ka na sa Jollibee sa breakfast. So, therefore, you're gonna have to remove Jollibee there. So, therefore, that would be, ano yun? 3 of the possible outcomes. Either McDo, Kentucky, or Bonchon. So, 3. Diba? Now, you just have 5 more restaurants to choose. And then, for dinner, ano yung gusto mo kakain sa dinner? Wonton noodle soup. Saan ka kakain ng wonton noodle soup? Of course, you can eat that in Chowking o sa Manhattan. Of course, yun yan sa Chowking. So, therefore, that's 2. And then, for the rest, you need to choose 4 na lang. At yun na yung sagot. So, therefore, that is the answer. Ito yung solution sheet na ginawa ko. Okay? You wanna see? Sa breakfast, yun nga, 1 out of 7. And then sa lunch, 5 out of 6. Doon sa LC. Aya, 1 out of 5 kasi nga what you all this, I thought kasi only one restaurant you can eat burger. Pero meron silang burger sa yun sa McDo at saka sa Kentucky. At yung last, dinner, 1/4 dahil ano yun, may ano yun. Ano yun, wonton mami. So yan, so dapat that's supposed to be 2/4. Ito dapat 2/4. Tapos ito naman, 3 out of 5. And then this one, 4 out of 6. Dahil pwede mo i-replace. And then from there, you multiply the product of everything. So you product everything, and you're supposed to get 0.02%. Yan. 2.85%. Last but not least, yung letter F, eating at different restaurants for 3 days, such that you have at least 2 days of eating at fast food restaurant. Ayan, di ba remember, this is already ano yun? combination probability. So you're eating at different restaurants for 3 days. Hindi ba mo, repeat the same restaurant? Like halimbawa, sa first day, kakain ka sa Manhan. Sa pangalawa, gusto mo sa Jollibee naman. Tsaka yung pangatlo, gusto mo kakain sa sa Fohua. Pero in this particular matter, the order does not matter. Kahit anong day na gusto mo pupuntahin, pwede naman. So let's say for example, Jollibee ka sa first day. Gusto mo Manhan sa second day. Tsaka gusto mo Bonchon sa sa pangatlong day or araw. So yan. Pero it says here, such that you should have at least 2 days of eating in fast food restaurant. Alin yung mga restaurants sa fast food? Of course, Jollibee, McDo, KFC, Chowking at Bonchon. Ang Fowa at yung Manhan, hindi sila fast food. They're regular restaurants. At meron silang service charge. So, yung mga fast food, yung madalas mo makita. Lalo of course in nearby stalls. So, sure niyan, Jollibee, McDo, KFC, Chowking and Bonchon are the one. So, therefore, the formula is 5C2, yung may fast food restaurant, and then 2C, 1. Divide by 7C, 3. Diba? Dapat i-add N, T, N. Diba? N, R. And then, kung may tatlo, 5C3, 2C0, and then 7C3. Yan, diba? And then, you sum this up to get the answer. So, let's see what did I do. So, yan, diba? Remember, that's the probability of combine. Combine of 5, 2. And then 2C1. And then divide by, divide by J137. 7C3, and that's 35. So when I do this, I get this answer. That is the probability of eating in 2 fast food restaurants. But let's say if you get 3 naman. Ganito kasi yun. 5C3, that's 10. Diba? And then 2C0, that's 1. And then you divide. Then when you add this up all together, it's 85%. So therefore, yun yung probability. The probability of eating in fast food restaurant for at least 2 days is 85%. Syempre naman kasi yun naman sa selection choice namin, marami kan, fast food restaurant na pwede ko kakain dyan So yan. Last problem. The last problem is item number 30. This one is a tough problem. Pero we can do this, okay? Math wizard. Look at the equation, then use the given numbers as inputs as the variable. So yan, if you look at the equation, it looks like this, okay? You have A times the quantity of B minus C times D. So if you are to do PEMDAS, C times D comes first, and then B minus the product of C and D, and then A times the product of everything. Whatever happened inside the parentheses. Okay? So find the probability of this. Inputting a 5 or negative 2 for the value of A. Repetition of integers is allowed. Ayan, yung number selection mo ay negative 5 to positive 5. From negative 5 to positive 5, ilang numbers to? 11. So therefore, there are 11 selections. So numbers can be repeated. So therefore, it's 2 times 11 times 11 times 11. Diba? Diba remember dito yung letter A? So yung letter A, oh my God. So yung letter A, diba remember that's letter A? So 2, diba? Inputting a 5 or negative 2. Dalawa sa choices na yan. 5 or negative 2. Diba? And then sa letter B, kasi diba remember sabi dito, repetition of integers is allowed. Ibig sabihin, you can repeat the same number. So therefore, this is 11 times 11 times 11. So therefore, it's 11 cubed times, times 2. And the total possible ways is 11 raised to the 4th power. Dahil, di ba remember, sabi dito, since we are repeating, therefore, you can multiply it, you can use the same number again. That's why exponents are allowed. So, ganito yung solution sheet ko. Let's see. Yan. Di ba? So, ganito yung solution sheet ko. I type there the product of 2 times 11 times 11 times 11 divide by 11 raised to the 4th power. And you're supposed to get 18.181818%. Next, letter B. Inputting a number that is greater than 3 as a value for C and a number less than negative 1 for a value of D. Whereas the numbers cannot repeat. O yan. It's just like number codes that we played last time when we were in factorials, di ba? Kasi nga remember, ito yun. Dito sa letter C, di ba remember, ito yun. You have A, B, C, and D. Ano yung condition? Inputting a number greater than 3 for value C. From among the selection from -5 to +5, ilan yung mga numero na numbers that are greater than 3? Dalawa. Di ba? It's 4 and 5. So, dalawa to. And then, for letter D, a number that's less than -1. Ano yung mga numbers less than -1? -2, -3, -4, and -5. So 4. Tama? And sabi dito, the numbers cannot repeat. Ibig sabihin, kung mayroon ka number dito sa letter C, let's say for example, sa letter C, input mo yung number +4. So, hindi pwede mo repeat yung +4 na yan. Okay? So, that is, ano yun? 4. Now, we already have 2 times 4. And then, di ba, remember, for the rest, there are no restrictions or conditions. So, therefore, di ba, mayroon tayong pili ng numero dito at dito. So, 9 times 8 na lang. So, yun yung solution. 9 times 8 times 2 times 4. Divided by 11p4. Or 11 times 10 times 9 times 8. Let's see if the solution is correct. Yan, di ba? So, ito yung solution sheet ko. Variable A. Yan, di ba? Is that correct? Yes. 9, 8, 2, 4. Di ba? 11, 10, 9, 8. And then, we do the product of everything. Di ba? And then, from there, nag-divide tayo. So, what is the answer? 7.272, di ba? We divide by the numbers here. Yan. Next, letter C. Inputting a positive integer to all variables where numbers can repeat. Yan, madali lang yan. Ilan yung mga positive numbers dito? 5, di ba? So, 5 raised to the 4th power divide by 11 raised to the 4th power. Bakit ang denominator ay 11 raised to the 4th power? Eh, syempre naman, dahil pwede mag-repeat ang integers. Diba, sabi dito, where numbers can repeat. So, ito yung solution sheet ko. Yan, madali lang yan. 5 raised to the 4th power, divide by 11 raised to the 4th power. At yung sagot dyan ay 4.268%. Mabilis lang yun. Letter D. The answer that you get is 0 without integers being replaced. Ayan, madali lang yan. Kasi nga remember, if you want to get the answer 0, ano yung kailangan mo gagawin? You can put 0 in any of the numbers there. Kahit dyan. A, B, C, D. So, ang kailangan mo may 0. Kasi nga remember, if you put the answer there, let's say for example, if A were 0, then you put any number here. Let's say for example, 1, 2 times 3. 2 times 3, 6. 1 minus 6 is -5. 0 times -5, edi 0. Diba? So, that is 0. If you put 0 here, that is already 1. So, 0 times 3 factorial. And if 0 were here, yun nga. Let's say, for example, 1 times 2, 2. 0 minus 2, -2. Hindi pwede. Hindi pwede kasi nga yung 0 ay dyan. So, you cannot do that. Let's say we put 0 sa, sa C. Of course, let's say, for example, di ba remember naglagay ka ng 0 sa C or sa letter D. Any number multiplied with 0 will just yield you to 0. Di ba? And then, let's say, for example, di ba remember, you put 1 and 0. So, 0, di ba? And then, 5 minus 0, 5. So, hindi pwede. So, dapat letter A should be 0. So, therefore, letter A must be 0. And then, the rest of the numbers must be 10p3. Divide by 11p4. So, yun yung solution. Okay? So, ganito kasi yun. The solution, di ba? 1. That's letter A. And then, this is 10, di ba? 10 numbers na lang. And then, inner product is 0. There are 8, di ba? 8 numbers that you can choose from, di ba? And then the normal. Yeah, that should be the answer, pero that's not the right answer. But if I were to try again, it should be like this. Of course, that'll be, ano yun, permute of 10p3 times permute of 11 and 4. Tama? So, what will be the answer? Yun yung sagot. Yan. So, dapat yun yung sagot. Not this one. So, therefore, this should be the right answer. Not that other answer. So, the answer I got is wrong. Dapat ito pala. Kasi nga dapat, only letter A should be 0. Kasi nga we're using identity property of multiplication. So, dapat yun yung sagot. Okay? Next, letter E. Having the product of negative 16, when having the product of negative 16, when you solve for the answer variables C and D, integers can repeat. Ayan, among the numbers from negative 5 to positive 5, ilan, when you multiply C and D, what will give you negative 16? And that's negative 4 and positive 4. Tama? And you can interswap them no matter where you are. So if I were to put this here, di ba remember ito yung A, B, C, D. Di ba? So you have negative 4 times 4. Di ba? Then this one, you can input any number you like. So therefore, this is 1, 11 times 11 times 2 factorial. Because it's up to you wherever you want to wherever you want to put the negative 4 or the positive 4. Pero, you have to make it 2 factorial. Kasi remember, if you put negative 4 here, dapat positive 4 dito. Kung naglagay ka ng positive 4 dito, any negative 4 naman dito. If in case na you use both negatives and both positives, the answer that you will get is a positive number, which will not give you negative 16. Naalam mo yung integer multiplication rule? When you multiply both negatives, you will get positive. When you multiply both positive numbers, you will always get positive. When you multiply both a positive and a negative number, you will always get a negative number. So, dapat ang kailangan namin ay 2 times 1. Kasi nga 2, the possible choices are negative 4 or positive 4. Tapos dito, kung alin yung pinili mo dito, whatever is chosen, sure na yan, you're gonna get the opposite or the conjugate. And since numbers can repeat, dapat supposed to be 11 times 11. So yan, that should be the answer. Let's see it in the solution sheet. Yan, di ba? So yan, that should be the right answer. 11 times 11, and then 11 raised to the 4th power. So yan. And then from there, we divide. So we can get the answer implied. And that's supposed to be 1.65 something. Yan, di ba? So yun yung sagot. Or if you were to do product, yeah, you will still get the same answer. Okay? Next, letter F. Last na to ha. Letter F. The answer that you will get is less than 0 or equal to negative 20 or inputting the largest positive number. I think this one is a tough problem. Kasi nga, remember, sabi dito, the answer that you will get is less than or equal to negative 20. Kasi nga, when we say less than or equal to negative 20, ibig sabihin yung sagot dyan ay dapat less than negative 20. Kung negative 20, okay lang yan. Pero the answer that should be is less than. Or inputting the largest positive number for value A. And but the clue is, the largest positive number there is 5. So if you put 5 there, so you're gonna have to choose which are the other numbers can you put for B, C, and D. Of course, that'll take a long time to do that. And that's equivalent to 10p3. And you're gonna have to input all the outcomes, and you're gonna have to write that all together. And that's so tough to solve. And I don't think I have a time for that. So I'm very sorry. But I think we will stop up to there. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching my math video. And ingat ka sa pag-aaral. And God bless you with your studies. Peace.